Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, you find a way to lose. You already know the saying around here is you find a way to take it to the stupid. And this time, yeah, Jarrell Miller took it to the stupid. But there's more on his story about the carjacking. First and foremost, I want to say maybe he's suffering from that CTE, man. You know what I'm saying? Isn't it called CTE, man? Maybe he's concussed. You know, he did get the hell beat out of him by Daniel Dubois. So maybe this erratic behavior is a result of a developing brain disorder, because he took some serious damage in that Dubois fight. Now remember, no one's ever questioned whether Daniel Dubois can fight. Everybody has said Daniel Dubois can fight. The question was Daniel Dubois' heart and his commitment to the sport of boxing and his will to try to push through, grit it out, and regain the advantage in a fight where he may be losing. Now, that being said, no one has also doubted Daniel Dubois' power. And when you look from the first round to when the fight was stopped, the type of hard shots that Big Baby got hit with, and then we go back to when he was kickboxing, how many years Big Baby has made a career from fighting, from being a tough guy who can take punishment and basically discourage his opponent or have them throw so many shots to where they become exhausted, and then he gets the upper hand and he kind of out-staminas them, out-grits them. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see this erratic behavior of his a result from just getting hit over and over and over again. It's just repeated head trauma. But let me tell y'all something. This is something y'all need to know. He didn't try to carjack that damn truck. See, this is the part that really annoys the shit out of me. You know, of course, these headlines, it's just like, what's that called when people put those headlines up? I forgot what it's called. When people put up bullshit headlines and get you to click on the video. Oh, clickbait, right? The title of the video is clickbait. So that, the way they're titling these articles, it's clickbait. So what happened is, that was Jarrell Miller's truck, okay? Obviously, he had some financial issues, got behind on payments, they repossessed it. So he went to where the truck was being stored, and he basically wanted his truck back, so he went and took his truck back. Now, there may have been a little physical altercation there where somebody ended up getting roughed up a little bit. But if I would assume he made good money over there in Saudi, right? It makes me wonder, why wouldn't you just go and pay off your debt? Like, if you want the truck, just go pay off your debt. Why go in there and try to take it? Now, when we start looking at this erratic behavior and the outbursts and just the aggression, and it makes you, it makes me say, okay, so first we had the Jamel and Jamal Charlo, and I did a video about those guys and saying, hey, maybe those guys are suffering from CTE, because remember, it's not related to a single head injury. So with these boxers, they've all been, repeatedly hitting the head over and over and over because they're in a contact sport. Now, the thing is, when you talk about these symptoms of CTE, what I will say is the development of CTE has been associated with what they call a second impact syndrome, in which the second head injury happens before previous head injury symptoms have fully resolved. And when you look at in a boxing match, and these guys getting hit, especially with really hard shots, right? And then before whatever injuries they're taken in, let's say the first, second, or third round, if injury has occurred, it doesn't get resolved because right after that, they go back to the fourth, fifth, sixth round, or however long the fight continues. So when you think about, all fighters, but in particular, guys like the Charlo brothers, and then now here it is, Jarrell Miller, the erratic behavior and the outbursts, and it makes me wonder, what the hell is really going on here, man? You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not one here trying to understand head injuries and the different factors that could contribute to the changes in these guys' behavior in the brains. I'm just a guy who's here at that, 25,000 foot level that's just kind of in a very inexperienced position. Just kind of looking at things on the surface and saying, maybe there could be some correlation between Jarrell Miller trying to go and steal his truck back after just making, I'm assuming, good money in Saudi. Instead of just going and paying off the debt, getting his truck and being good, he goes out there and causes a goddamn ruckus and takes his truck. And they track him down, and now he's arrested for, some kind of assault, a battery. Now he's arrested for carjacking. I mean, all kind of crap. $30,000 bond. Now, I would think if he just paid off the truck, I don't know what kind of truck it is, but I would think that'd be a lot cheaper than having to get bonded out, get lawyers, and deal with all the bullshit. But again, it goes back. You can't expect someone to think logically if they're concussed. And if, in fact, he has developed this CTE shit, because he's been acting pretty crazy for a while now. And some say, well, he's from the inner city, and that's just how all the guys are from the inner city. I mean, I get it. But I'm not sure I buy into that. Okay, because not everybody from the inner city is boxing and repeatedly getting punched in the head. And like him, he kickboxed before getting kneed in the face and kicked in the head. So, and then we're not even talking about the sparring. So I don't know. I don't know, man. But I think when it comes to these fighters, I think there's high risk exposure there. But nobody's validated whether he's suffering from CTE or anything. This is just a conversation. But I think there may be some symptoms there that if you get a good healthcare provider to really take a look at them, they may be able to diagnose some kind of trauma that's taking place. And that can help us to understand why he behaves the way he does, and also for those Charlo boys. It just, I don't really understand all the causes. I know one thing: there's no cure for it. But when I watched Jarrell Miller, stress, depression, being concussed, PTSD. PTSD doesn't mean you're out on the battlefield. There's different things that happen in your life that when you come across certain situations, could cause different things that have remained dormant to surface, and you can have a reaction to that. But that being said, although Jarrell Miller is a cock-a-hole, I think at the same time it's hard not to like him, because he's always smiling, he's always joking. He's just he crosses the line a lot of times with the things he says. But let's not act like he's not a likable guy. But I don't know. I kind of feel a little bad for him. I'm not gonna lie, man, because I'm gonna tell you what. For me, because I know what it's like for people to not really understand what you have going on in your life, but for people to judge you, for people to still come down and put unnecessary pressure on you. And if they knew what you were really going through, they would never engage you the way they engage you. I'm talking from experience, man. and you're sitting there, and it's like you don't say anything. It's real. It could be a really, really lonely time in a person's life. And remember, like I said before, this man missed out on the AJ payday, got suspended, got another opportunity with Top Rank, got suspended for drugs again, started to rebuild, lost his wife, lost his child, lost a lot of the materialistic things that he owned, his possessions, like this vehicle, but obviously he had a lot more according to him. And now he's here in a lonely space with nothing, financially struggling. So he had the golden ticket. That's how I would call it. Because I just took my boys to the circus, and they were giving them golden tickets. And I was like, for him, that's what it reminded me of. My son's going to the circus and giving him the golden ticket. It's like he had a golden ticket, in my opinion, and he blew it. Then to me, he got a golden ticket. That's against AJ. Then he got another golden ticket out there in Saudi. All he had to do was beat Dubois, and that didn't work out. So now he's in a horrible spot. I don't know if there's going to be any big fights for him. I don't know if any promoters are going to want to deal with him. He kind of burned some bridges out there in Saudi, where he insulted Dimitri Salita because there were other promoters and athletes and just people who were involved with the fights being made in Saudi who were texting Dimitri Salita and apologizing to him for how he was being treated by his fighter, Jarrell Miller. So I think it'd be hard for somebody to want to deal with Jarrell Miller, especially now that they see he's high risk and they can't depend on him, and so they can't take him serious. Who would want to sit there and plan a fight around somebody like him? Talk about somebody. Right now, Jarrell Miller should be sitting on about $50 million, man. Because he probably would have beat that AJ. He probably would have beat him. Okay? And then he would have went on and got another opportunity. He would have the position Andy Ruiz is in, that's the position Jarrell Miller would be in. Anyway, he got a bad attitude though. And like I say, he didn't play his card right. You know, that's that briefing I used to give when I was in the military. I created the briefing. It's an acronym, CARRD. C is for communication, verbal and non-verbally. A is for attitude, R is for respect and responsibility, D is for discipline. So that's why you got to play your card right if you want to be successful in your professional career in life. And with Jarrell Big Baby Miller, he didn't play his card right, obviously, and he hasn't been. And that's why his life and professional career has been in a continuous downward spiral. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, 7 continents. Hopefully he can get his shit together, because this man has been given like 2 golden tickets to like they told Tyson Fury, wealth beyond your imagination. This man had 2 golden tickets and he blew it. And here it is. He if there was a third one someone was thinking about, I think he blew that one, because who wants to deal with somebody who's out here making decisions like this? It's crazy. In the breeze.